So today, Vanguard made some major announcements for what's changing and being added the coming months, and let's discuss them. I'm also going to be rating them out of 10, because some of these are really awesome and some of these are awful. So if you work for Bushiroad, I promise I'll be respectful, but please hear me out. Now, as always, if you still need any Vanguard cards, you can go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn for a discount. So we've got the English conference right here. Overall, always very well produced. Recently, I really feel like they stepped it up in terms of production and so forth. So first, they announced that the Vanguard Skyride manga is actually coming to English. It's going to be on sale April 18. And then they also include this promo. And this promo is actually really incredible for Dark States. It's basically like the dog that Keter has, but for Dark States, which is awesome because Dark States could really use that. Not every single deck, but you know, in general. I really like generic strong cards because it allows you to kind of power up weaker decks. And sure, sometimes you'll also power up stronger decks, but who cares? It's exciting. So yeah, I really like it. I would have liked to see this promo be elsewhere, you know, technically, because it is so good that locking it behind the manga is kind of weird. I wonder if there's maybe 4 copies of this in the manga. That would be great, because at least then you just buy the manga once, whereas having to buy the manga 4 times is kind of awkward. So yeah, not too sure on that, but the card coming at least is really cool. So let's rate this like a 7 out of 10, right? 7, because if this is only 1 copy, it could be a 5, but if it's 4 copies, it could be an 8.5. Subtracting the half, because this could have also been elsewhere, but cool that it's coming. Next, we have the announcement for Knights of Rebirth coming on June 27th to English. I don't really have much of an opinion yet, so I'll be neutral here. I'll just give this like a 7.5 or an 8. Let's call it an 8. Cool, new set, but I don't know enough about it yet to give this a really to give it as a fair number yet. Then June 27th, so same day, we also have these 2 new decks. If I recall correctly, these are like not trial decks. You know, they're called master decks. They're much more close to a ready deck, a really good intro product. So I'm very happy with these. Let's call it a 9. You know, let's give it that W. Really cool. Then the ban list. Okay, first of all, V Premium, no changes. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Then Standard, we basically see just the Japanese restrictions coming to English. So we see Shiranui and Shoujo Doji being hit by getting Isaso to 1 on the Doji side, and then Furai to 1 on the Shiranui side. A lot of people are angry about this because obviously this is very late. These 2 decks are no longer the top dogs in town. Rezael and Levidras are. And it's honestly not even close. So we already have a very centralizing meta, with one of the events in SCA being like, what, 6 or 7 Levidras out of the top 8. Very overwhelming. And then everywhere else also, it's, you know, just Rez and Levy, Rez and Levy, Rez and Levy. So this being implemented now feels kind of tone deaf. However, I'm pretty sure they just did this because they want the standard ban list to be the same or similar, whatever, across the regions no matter what. So a lot of us were probably hoping for something more, but I think this is just like a policy put in from JP side and saying like, no, you know, you can change premium if you want, but you are not touching standard. We're gonna just, you know, keep it homogenized. But it is a little sad, I understand. So this part of the ban list, I'm gonna give it a 6... I don't know, a 4. I don't really know how to rate this, because it's like, it's probably a JP policy. This is probably not up to Bushi SEA, because then for premium they actually did make a change, a very small one though. But okay, let's talk about it. So Gridora to 2, is this good or bad? I think this is a very good hit. The first thing I saw when I opened Twitter and Vanguardians and so forth was people saying, haha, Gridora lives, but it's like, does it? Like, okay, obviously, Gridora is still a playable deck, and I think outright killing decks is kind of not ideal for an Eternal format that currently doesn't seem to get direct support. So if Gridora was put to 0, that would mean anyone who plays Mega Colony no longer had a deck, and there was no like support about to change that. So I understand why they don't try to kill decks. Sometimes a deck deserves to die though, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, I think this is a good hit. When I was thinking of what to hit in Premium, and let me know in the comments down below if you want me to make like a video with way more hits. But if I was going to make a hit in Premium and I was told don't kill decks, I would do this too. Because while you may think, oh, they can still try it twice, Gridora overall is quite a slow deck. It grinds the opponent out by not letting them play. Very, very, very often, you were killing on the third Gridora, and sometimes even the fourth. You know, some matchups you were winning on that fourth, but very, very often you were killing on the third. Because the first Gridora really isn't doing shit, you know. You flip one Malignantis and your opponent maybe still has something standing. You didn't even get like any plussing or anything like that. You don't have the grade 3s in your soul yet, or even like any setup wise yet to do Antlion plays. It's also too early in the game for Antlion to even land a kill, or if you're on the Flagberg version, your opponent is still at very low damage, so all your little multis aren't really doing much yet. You also haven't been able to Persona yet in the Flagberg version either, and so just overall, the first Gridora is never ever getting even close to killing. You know, this is not a Katrina turn. This is not a Morfessa turn. This is just the start of the slow grind. And then the second one sometimes might land the kill, but usually not really. And also keep in mind that a lot of people right now are putting all of their resources in trying to kill Gridora as fast as possible because they know there's an endless amount coming anyway. However, if you know there's only two of them coming, you might save your hand a little longer, making it easier to last through the two, and then after that you just still land the kill, because now, once the two are gone, they're gone. You know, Gridora's power output is falling off a cliff after this card. I saw some people going, oh, but after the second Gridora, you just go Optirandus. If Optirandus was a great stride, we would have been striding that before Gridora, and it would have been a real deck before Gridora, but it wasn't, because Optirandus is dog shit. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you might stride it, but like, it is so much weaker. You don't stop your opponent's stuff from standing, so like their Vanguard restands, they no longer have to like minus to re-ride. You don't stop the rear guards from standing, so if they're not a deck like Granblue or something, you know, if they're like Shiranui or Narukami and they had all these big restanders, you know, forcibly rested for turns on Gridora, next turn, they're standing. And what, are you gonna pay like CB1 Darkface skill to keep them rested on top of 2 CB from Optirandus? And that's not all, because Optirandus costing 2 CB also means you're probably not able to Malignantis them anymore, so you're also not minusing your opponent's power. And on top of that, you also have to discard cards for Optirandus, and on top of that, you don't have the call from deck, which means you don't have the multi-attack with Hell Demise, and you don't have the Antlion shenanigans, and your opponent can G-guard. Overall, Optirandus is such a downgrade from Gridora that if you're honestly telling me that like, oh, I'll just win because of my like third stride Optirandus, you're not really playing this deck that much. So is the deck dead? No, it's not. But is it severely weakened? Absolutely. I can absolutely see a world now where if Granblue goes first, they just beat Gridora. You know, you ride up, you go into your bandit room, you get your 2 protect so you can start stalling a little bit, and then on the 2 Gridora turns, you kind of just, you know, wait it out. And if they now Optirandus you, okay, it's like, yeah, it'll stop you, but they're not doing anything themselves either. And eventually, you will just stride Bad Bounty and nuke them. Same thing with Katrina. Katrina can absolutely last, you know, they can surge the defensive order, they can surge the Lil Gus, they have all sorts of strides beyond Katrina to outlast these 2 Gridoras and then just nuke you. Will it be the best matchup ever? No, of course not, but I really think they just gave a fighting chance to the insanely good matchups Gridora has, while also making the bad matchups Gridora has even worse. So yeah, very good hit. But, of course, we would have all liked to see more hits. First of all, of course, ban the overtrigger. I mean, we can keep this thing going forever. Yeah, I'm not giving that up. It's an awful mechanic. It should be gone from every format, but it's probably not happening to standard, so at least make it happen in premium. It's very random. It never benefits the best players. I mean, sometimes it might, but you know, on average it doesn't, because the best player will win without them, while the worst player will win because of them. But beyond that, there's other things, you know. Some might argue that you want to hit Reverence Rush Dragon, which is used in something like the Fenrir Deckout stuff. It's also used in Angel Gize. It's overall just not a great feeling to have infinite healing. Whoa, that was a rhyme. I'm a rap god. Most importantly though, crests. I think crests should be banned from premium. You know, like Jet randomly auto-winning when they see it sometimes, Crest Nui being the most top topping deck the past 3 months by a landslide, by the way, whereas Gredora is only second place in that ranking. And then, of course, you know, Crest Harry, Crest Nitros, just Crest decks are just like so random, because when you do have Crest, you feel on top of the world. It's like, wow, I'm the best player alive. And when you don't have Crest, you're like, wow, my deck is so much worse. And you have no control over that. It's just look at opening hand, lol, I'm the best player ever. Look at opening hand, lol, I'm the worst player ever. Like, it just feels so bad. Just fucking ban them. Maybe you can do like some kind of errata, you know, where you say all the Crest creating grade 1s, say like when placed from right deck or something like that. Boom, fixed. All it took is an errata. Now, if getting an errata true from Bushi JP is harder, sure, then just put them all on the ban list. I don't care. Maybe choice restrict them with history collection strides is something someone else was saying to slow them down. I'm not sure if I like that quite as much because it's not completely killing the issue, but it would be a start, you know, the choice restrict. Overall, I would really like to see Crests nuked before Worlds. You know, I think Worlds is going to be absolutely ruined by Crests otherwise. Sure, you can try and build around it. I'm sure there's like a lot of card pool to still fix it, but come on, we don't want band-aids, just fix that already. So ban Crests. So if I have to give a rating to this, I would say the standard ban list is 5. I don't know, it's just not good because people were expecting more, but I don't know if we're ever getting more because I don't know if Bushi SCA's hands are tied on this front. On the premium side, however, I know for a fact Bushi SCA's hands are not tied because they were able to put this one through. So I'll give this one a 7. I know it's pretty high. I like the Gredora hit. I just want to see more. Next, we have the World's Finalist Prizing, and I'm a huge fan of this one actually. So previously, if you don't know, if you were going to Worlds, you would get a promo. So 2 years ago, it was Elementarial Sanctitude with a stamp on it. And then last year, it was Harmonix Messiah with a stamp on it. And of course, Standard got something else. Overall, these are always super cool, but that was basically the main thing you were getting alongside with the mat. I don't know if I have... Yeah, this one. There's others here as well. However, now they've actually made it better. So as you can see right here, you have a supply set. So this is actually really cool because if you went to Worlds, you would like go pick up your promo and you would hold your promo and then you would hold your mat and like you would have to ram the mat into your bag. It's kind of like an awkward way to receive it, but now it's a supply set. So you actually get this cool box and inside they will probably put the mat. They will put some Worlds exclusive sleeves and then a Worlds exclusive deck box. Now, I don't know if the World's deck box is going to be the greatest quality, but still, overall, it's just a much nicer representation. So this is going to be the one for Standard, and this is the one for Premium. And this Premium one is beautiful. You know, I'm not the biggest Neo Nectar fan or anything like that, but the art on this Katrina is gorgeous. And another really cool improvement about this is that we're finally going back to actual Vanguard mats for Worlds. I don't know if you know, but the first year I attended Worlds, we still had actual Vanguard units on them. I'm pretty sure it was like Ravenhair Ezel, and then you also had some Wise and Buddy Fight on it or whatever. But still, you had your actual game on it. They later swapped it to like this mascot thing, and it's like fine, you know, you get it for free, whatever. But it would have been cool if you actually saw your game represented on the mat. Now we finally have that back. So this beautiful Worlds mat for Premium, absolutely gorgeous. And then we also have the one for Wise. Cool, I guess. I don't know enough about it. And then Shadowverse as well. This one's really nice. I don't know anything about it, but it looks nice. Now, some people were asking, oh, does that mean we're actually not getting the prize cards anymore, you know, for qualifying Worlds? We actually do. They clarified that on the website. So this change, overall, 10 out of 10. Fucking awesome. Great improvement. And speaking of great improvements, they've also improved the pricing. So previously at Worlds, you would basically get absolutely nothing until top 3. And in top 3, you would get a trophy, and then the first place would get the World's prize card. And of course, that's awesome. We all want the World's prize card, but they made it even better now because from now on, you will also get a top 8 prize card, a top 4 prize card, and then of course a champion card, but more on that later. But what's really cool is this is basically like Pokemon system, right? In Pokemon, if you get like top 32, top 16, and so forth, you also get prize cards. And of course that makes sense because their events are way bigger. So we only getting top 8 makes perfect sense. Worlds usually has like 50 players, so doing top 32 would be really odd. You're already getting your qualification promo anyway. So yeah, awesome change. Gonna rate this change, I guess, you know, 9 or 10 out of 10. I don't know. Overall, World's pricing improving is awesome. So this is the standard one. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was the standard one, and this is the premium one. So the premium one is a little less cool in my opinion because over triggers, you know, can slot into more decks. But overall, I don't really care. If you look behind me, like all my prize cards are just put into like these thick things. So it's not like like I'm actively playing them anyway. But also pretty cool, this is exclusive art. You know, this is the Lady Battler Dwarf, whatever the hell, but it's art I haven't seen before. So that's really, really nice that they actually put in that extra effort. Yeah, it looks cool. I'm absolutely down for it. And then for Wise, the girl from before, and then for Shadowverse, this one. So again, really good change. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, awesome. And then we've got the champion prizes, so this is absolutely awesome as well. For standard, we have a starter, and that is cool. I would have liked to see maybe like a Guardian Shield for premium or something like that. I don't know, like I like cards that are very, very usable. For premium, we literally had we already had Sanctitude, we already have Harmonics, so these were like very generic, awesome cards, and some people love, you know, blinging out their deck to the max. But for premium, we then have the Katrina, which is still fine. Like, this art is absolutely gorgeous, and anyone who wins Worlds isn't gonna go like, oh, I wish I got a different card. So, you know, but that's just a detail. And then this one from Frieren, okay, I'm sure this one is gonna be worth a ton of money for Wise. Like, there's a lot of Frieren fans out there, and Wise, you know, always goes up like crazy in price cards. Cool. And then Shadowverse, I don't know enough about it, but cool art as well. But yeah, this, it's not a change, but it's an announcement. I guess also just 9 out of 10. The only way to further improve this, I think, is making something slightly more generic worthy. You know, if this was like a Guardian ticket, the 20k shield, with this Katrina art, I'd still be down. But still, awesome. Then they announced the casters. We have Different Fight, WCC Kai, ENTCG, Shizukads, Red Zone Rogue, and Ignidius. Okay, so a lot of people were asking like, oh wait, that's less casters than before, so do we not get a premium stream or whatever? Different Fight already clarified, yes, we are still getting a premium stream. They're just gonna swap between standard and premium. Now, the final thing we need to talk about, and this is something they try to slip by us, sneaky, sneaky Bushiroad, is we have Bushiroad Summerfest. So rather than Springfest, you know, it's in the summer, it's from May until September, and, you know, we're all happy. Team League, awesome, you know, here we have Standard, Team League, and then in little letters, they didn't want to show it too much, Premium. Premium will be held in an individual format. Now, don't get me wrong, I somewhat get this for some locations, because some locations don't have a massive Premium crowd. However, that is then instantly debunked by the fact that premium numbers are up absolutely everywhere. You know, locations that used to struggle launching premium, like in Spain or Portugal, now each time still had over 100 players easily. So maybe it still happens in some places in the world, but at least in Europe, that myth is dead. So this is not necessary. But then, the worst part, locations will have either premium or Lyrical Monasterio Cup. Nah, we ain't doing that. First of all, I understand this exists from in Japan, right? Lyrical Monasterio Cup, it's like a cool little side event, who cares? But you randomly choosing locations and going, oh, you as a location don't even get premium anymore, and instead you get this? No. First of all, it shouldn't even be singles. Everyone's excited for Team League. But secondly, it definitely shouldn't be this fake-ass format. So I suggest this gets changed. And if you check out Twitter, everyone suggests this gets changed. Almost no one, even diehard Lyrical fans, want this over a premium day. It's just not happening. And I know you might try to sell this by going, oh, actually, you get a very special energy of whatever girl playing Lyrical, so that way we will entice them. But if your way to get people to play a format that doesn't exist, by the way, is to, like, artificially inflate pricing, put this pricing into premium. Problem solved. This is ridiculous, and this should not be happening. We should just get a premium Team League. A lot of people are asking for this. And I think, once again, this is Bushiroad thinking, oh, our players play standard, and then they play premium because it happens to be available on the weekend. When in actuality, for a lot of your longtime players, it's your players play premium, and they happen to play standard because it's available for the weekend. Now, I'm not saying this is the majority of players, but I will put my hand in the fire right now and say that at least 30% of your players in Europe are like that. If you were to go, oh, actually, we only do Lyrical in this location, you will see like 30% of your players not attending the whole weekend. They will just say no. You know, like, for all the improvements D has over V, the format is still very random. Going first is still broken. Getting specific pieces early is still way better than any amount of skill expression you can put into this format. If I, as a Resile player, go first and get my Order plus Tidefall, I am still the best player in the room regardless of what I do with these cards. That is still a format-based issue that you over time need to fix, but until you do, all of your diehard players are preferring premium by far. If you try to reduce that and go like, oh, you know, they're there for D and they happen to play premium. No, they're there for premium and they happen to play D. You replace premium with fucking Lyrical Monasterio Cup, they're just not showing up. I'm not showing up. There's a lot of people I talk to who aren't showing up. I can definitely make like a different video going even way more in depth on this, on all the changes I want to see for premium, but this right now, in my opinion, is some kind of emergency situation. I think this needs to be addressed very, very soon because no one's asking for this. So this change gets a 0 out of 10. Premium should be Team League, and for locations that have too small of a premium, there you can maybe make it singles. It is absolutely important that you realize that premium is not just a side thing, like, oh, we can push it into Tri-Reg, oh, we can push it with Lyrical Monasterio Cup instead. It is the main lifeblood keeping your longtime players engaged in this game. Because did I draw my Levy draws by turn 3 roulette? Isn't cutting it just yet.